Hello, hello, you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, going live today. Super excited. Going to talk all about money, which we all want to talk about, finance, credit, and books. All the things that can create wealth and help us create legacy. Yay, I see credit cleanse. Now, I haven't done this in a while, so hopefully, I want to bring Kyra in. Here we go. I'm gonna invite. So bear with me. Let's see if it works.
Did we lose each other?
Yay! There we go.
Hey.
I haven't done this in like forever. I don't think I haven't done a combo. I haven't done a combo with anyone in like I don't know how long. So this is fun.
Yes.
Hello, you guys that are joining. All these people are hopping on. Probably want to give people maybe a second to hop on.
Yep.
Ooh, I'm just so glad it worked.
Right? Because sometimes technology.
I know, and it's still, you're in Texas, right? Hello, you all that are joining.
Hey. All right. And definitely give y'all time to get on. If you are just tuning in, please share, tag, let the people know that we are in here so y'all can come get this sauce. Y'all know it gets saucy, especially if you have been on Credit Kleanse. You know it can get really saucy. So, yes.
That's so funny.
The same.
Let's see, because I know it's still early. It's still early in Los Angeles. It's only 5 here. So,
yes.
Still jumping off work. I was like, oh, I not want to be late, trying to jump off work call to get here. So I know people are probably in the same predicament with work and dinner.
All right. All right. Well, we'll definitely go ahead and get started. You want to introduce yourself first, and then I'll go right behind you.
So everyone that's new to me, hello, my name's Brooke-Sidney Harbor. I am a celebrity ghostwriter, author, coach, and attorney. And I specialize in helping creatives, consultants, and basically entrepreneurs create legacy soul-led books that you can, really be proud of, really stand for your work, your business, and help elevate your business, because books bring in multiple streams of income. But we'll get into all of that. And then the lovely Kyra is here. I'll let her introduce herself.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Kyra. I am the CEO of Credit Kleanse. I'm an award-winning credit counseling service out here. My biggest thing is I want to see everybody winning in real life. So I learned about credit, how it changed my life. And my goal now is just to make sure everybody else knows exactly what you can do with credit to get out here and win.
That's so true. I think that a lot of people don't fully understand credit, and even those of us that are business owners, we don't really understand how that works. Many of us, myself included, have, especially starting out, we, bootstrapped our own business. We didn't know, you know what I mean? We knew how to go and I'm an attorney, so we knew how to do that, but was nervous around what business credit meant especially outside of my small bank. I bank with a national bank, but my local bank. So I got money from them, but kind of beyond that. So I'm excited to hear what you're, more about business credit and, all of that. So feel free to, to start it off.
All right. So one of the things I do want to ask, hey, Marissa, hey, everybody that's joining, make sure I give y'all hellos. But one of the first things I wanted to start off is just basically saying, hey, in 2023, yes, we have all been there at a time where we was bootstrapping. But I feel like in 2023, let's utilize all the things, all the tools that we have to us to make sure that 2023 is like the best year yet. So that's my thing. So it starts with like even what you said, like having a book. That's multiple streams of income you could have coming in, as well as with your current business, making sure that blossom easier and quicker.
That's true. Now, do you think that most people know how to get business credit?
No.
No.
Not at all. Some people don't even really understand what business credit is. So I kind of like just break it down. It's basically your rich best friend. All right, that's a good
Okay.
that's how I like to look at it. Like, so, you know, not everybody is blessed with a friend that they can ask, hey, I need to borrow $10,000,
Right.
$20,000 from. So therefore, like having a business, as long as it's a LLC or a corporation, now you have a rich best friend because it can function as its own person. So just like you are your own person, you have a birth certificate, you have your social security number. So the business, that would be the articles of incorporation or certificate of formation. That's the birth certificate. And then your DUNS number and EIN, that is like the social security number for that
Right.
person, which is your business. So off top, people think that you just want to start there. If I have an LLC, I should be able to get funding. Or if I have an LLC or a corporation, no matter what I'm doing, I'm building business credit. And it doesn't work like that. You definitely need to make sure, one, what is your business name? That's the start off. So your business name, you want to keep it simple. Therefore, even though we all go into business and we don't look at it as we're going to fail, this not going to last, but just in case that
Right.
happens,
Right.
if you have a generic name like ABC Enterprise, then you can change that to whatever. But if you have been there, ABC Credit Repair, if that doesn't work out, you know, you can't use ABC Credit Repair for your retail shop or
So
trucking.
you're saying the business name, it should be good for all of your businesses, and it should, is it be not generic? Are you saying not generic?
No,
Or
it should be basically generic. That way,
okay.
when you go into the banks, they're going to ask the least amount of questions.
Mm.
If you have a high risk industry like credit repair is high risk,
Got
trucking,
mm-hmm.
construction, travel agency, real estate, those are all high risk industry, meaning they don't really last past the 5-year marks majority of the time. So therefore, if you just had ABC Enterprises, even though you are credit repair, trucking, or whatever, they wouldn't be asking you all those different questions that once you say what you do, they're going to start digging into it and decide, maybe you're not right for us.
That's really interesting. Especially knowing that so many people now want to go into like real estate and go into business, go into like anything financial. They're thinking that that's kind of the key for them. So to now know that they need to get very kind of generic sounding, that's interesting. That's really interesting because you know, on the other side, on my lawyer side, put that hat, you know, it's easier to trademark names that are not generic, you know, so that you have
Yes.
something that's distinctive and something that is different, that doesn't actually normally describe what it is you do. So this is so interesting. This is such an interesting conversation.
No, so
because
I like that you said that though, because you can still have that distinguished name because what you can do is place a DBA up underneath it.
Right. That's
So you
true.
can still
That's true. So however you organize your different entities underneath it. But yes, you're right. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Because I tell people all the time, I had one client where they wanted to like make a tech, like essentially like a tech hub. And so there was going to be different, and guess what they wanted to call it? Tech Hub. I'm like, we're not getting that through the trademark office. We're not getting that through, because then you're going to like, no one else can use the word tech and no one else can use the word hub and put it together when it describes something. But I like I told them you can have a blue elephant tech faster, you know, trademark than you can for like something that's merely descriptive. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Merely descriptive. So I love it, but you're right. There are ways that we could structure things so that you put one, one name below another, or one name as a part of the entity.
Yes.
Especially for the finance. And I'm liking this. I'm liking this. This is good. This is really good.
So that's definitely one of the key things. And also when you go in, let's say that, so let's get back to the structure. You just want to make sure that you want to make sure that you are looking bigger than even if you're just starting. So you want to make sure you have your actual domain. So that would be your business name, .com, .net, .org. But I want to also go into that for some of y'all that tune in all the time. Even when it comes to picking out the domain, even when it comes to picking out like the domain for your business, guys, when you think of your business name, you want to make sure the domain that goes with it is something that people can easily type in.
Yes. Don't have a whole bunch of hyphens and periods and extra words and
yes.
Because you're going to send somebody else traffic. You're going to send somebody
else. Right. Or like if yours is similar to another company as well, like they might go to that company thinking that it was yours. Exactly. And now look at that. You could have possibly had a client and you just lost them because the company that's similar, they might have the same products or services, that you offer. So they went there instead. So definitely want a name that sticks out.
That's
but it's
so
also
true.
Simple.
Yes, and you're right too. I'm just gonna, underline and bold what you're saying, because when we think about the intellectual property, that's what my attorney hat is. When we put that on, we think about the intellectual property, the things that you own, your domain is a part of it. So if you ever want to buy or sell your company, right? If you want to do that, they're going to want the appropriate name, whoever ends up being who comes along to buy it when you're packaging up your company. And you should always be thinking about how to package up your company to sell it, even if you never sell it. So always going, hey, y'all, hey, Juan, always go with the end in mind. And so owning that domain, that .com or that .org or whatever is applicable to your industry, as Kyra is key. That is so key.
So look, I love that we are on together actually, because now people are getting both sides. So when it comes to like trademarking, doing the copyright and everything, look how all of this plays a part. So if you start off structuring your business right, you're like checking off so many tasks. So when you start wanting to get a book or anything like that, you done already checked off a lot of things.
She says, what did Pawson, she says, I'm going through that with my domain name. Someone owns .com and I have .co. They raised the price when they saw someone purchase .co. That's right. So that's because there are people that were domain kind of, I can't remember, what is it called? Oh, there used to be a name for them. It's blanking on me right now. But basically it was people that went out and bought a whole bunch of names, especially names that were very common. And so they're poachers. That's what it's called, domain poacher. And so it's almost like sometimes it's better if you know that you want the .com and it is for sale. Sometimes it's better to actually try to negotiate and get the .com, because if you start buying the .cos and .nets, guess what they think? The market has gone up for those words, and so they just increase it. So, I'm sorry, Pawson.
That's Marissa.
Yes. That happens. That happens a lot actually. And because they think that there's a false market for it.
Yep. So that is definitely crazy. And also, if you know your name is very like common, or you think somebody might try to come after and get something similar after you because you have maybe a good reputation, so they just kind of want to piggyback off of that and kind of poach your clients or potential clients, go ahead, you can take that time and purchase all of them. So now nobody can get the .net, the .org, the .co, just anything that's close to yours, just to ensure that
I agree. I agree. And I've also told clients where there's a common misspelling to go ahead and purchase that .com as well, because then you can have them all refer to your main link. And so if, you know, if someone like my name's Brooke-Sidney, let's say they don't put the E in on the Brooke, hey, you're still going to get to me. You're still going to get to me because I have a misspelling link. So think about those two when you're, you know, for $8.95 or $9.95 or whatever it is for that domain is worth it in the end if you are owning that kind of that name in both people's minds and on the web. And similarly,
Yes, that's
get all the social media, you know, get all of those things too.
facts.
I know we've gone down a tangent, but you know, similarly, you want to own that IP as well, because in this day and age, your social media accounts do matter. They do matter.
Yes. And I was going to say, you know, also with that, you know, like we were telling you to purchase them, guys, y'all can have, like she said, the name, the spelling and anything like that. You can have where it triggers to your main one. Like it still goes over, transfers or forwards over to your main website. So no matter if they typed it wrong or anything, they would still get you.
Yes. And kind of just to give y'all a little bit of like a gem here. So if you own the domain and you have the trademark and someone else has a social media account that is, I'm going to call it infringing, that it's looking like it's yours, that provides evidence to actually get that out of their name. So if someone else owns something that's like yours or the exact same thing, having that trademark, having that IP ownership allows people to be like, no, they own it's too close to my name, take them down. And so you can contact Instagram, you can contact Facebook, you can contact Twitter. Well, I can't speak on Twitter nowadays because we know it's under new management. But Twitter's dead. And people are saying that Twitter is dead. But but you do, that's what I'm saying. Ownership has privileges. And so when you start owning your domains and you start owning your trademarks and your copyrights, then you can prevent people from making sure they don't have what you have. And that's important in the business marketplace. You all know that's key.
Yes. So. I hope y'all taking notes over here today.
I know I thought I was going to talk about books, but I always end up talking about, I talk about law, but not a lot on Instagram. But yes, I do talk about it.
And so the next thing that you want to make sure you have is your business phone number. You know, having your business phone number, you need to make sure it's an actual business line. Yes, you'll get through with some banks and some credit unions and some lenders out here with just having like a Google voice, but not 9 times out of 10 nowadays, they will red flag it and they will like automatically deny you. Just because they was like, this person isn't even serious enough to go out there and get an actual business line. If you have
where do
a
you
personal
suggest people get the business lines from that are not Google?
So if let's say that you've been using like a personal cell phone number or a personal cell phone provider. So like Verizon or T-Mobile, Sprint, and you know, it's a lot of them out there, AT&T. You can actually just call them and see if they can actually just switch that line over to an actual business account. So that's one of the things you could do. Another thing is if you've been having like Google Voice and you're like, you know what, I don't want to actually pay for another cell phone or anything like that, you can actually do Vonage, Ring Central, Grasshopper, Call 8, and that's Call 8 with the K. You can actually have them start with them, and then what they'll do is like it's just an app that's on your phone. So when it rings for business, it'll actually say your business name and the number. So you'll know, and it's a different ringtone. So you'll know that it's business related. And I like that because you can also put that app on your laptop. So as you hire employees and stuff like that, let's say that you have a facility, maybe you started at home and you eventually get a brick and mortar. Now you can easily transfer that over to their phone or to their laptop. And then, you know, if something were to happen, they'll have their own login. you'll have the admin. So if something happens, they quit or you fire them, you can remove that off top. And, you don't have to worry about them. Oh, let me see you take that app off or whatever. Like, it'll automatically remove them. So I think that's a great tool nowadays. And it's like $20 per line.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good. And I don't think a lot of people know about those kind of, Google Voice competitors or someone that's kind of better in that way. Especially, I don't even think I've ever heard of Call 8. So that's game. Keeping game. I'm writing it down because a lot of people don't want to have, it coming in on their regular line anyway, their personal line or their cell phone line. So that's really good. What about WhatsApp? Do people use WhatsApp for business?
Yes, but when it comes to getting funding,
I'm just calling out things I know people do.
When it comes to getting funding or coming to get credit, a lot of the major banks that's going to give you like $50K or more, they are still old school. So they still want you to have an actual line that's going to your business. They don't want to be on the phone with you and they call and you're like, oh, hold on. Because sometimes they'll verify while you're on the phone with them. You don't want them to call that line and then,
True.
Oh, hold on. I got to click over. Hello. So, yeah, just it's fine to have as we get more updated in technology, but also remain old school as well, because they have not updated their systems. So if they can't reach you and they don't see that it shows a business line when they're Google searching you or anything like that, they'll just deny you.
Wow.
Crazy.
No, that's really good. So I know one thing I wanted to ask, and you probably get this all the time, but there was a trend where people were asking about trade lines, which, I'm an attorney, so I wasn't like, my spidey sense went up that I was like, to borrow someone else's, credit lines is authorized, but you really can't use the card, but it's like, and then you could sell it, and then, you could sell yours, and then you like, what is your thought on that? Like, how do you feel about that?
So mine is, do not go out here purchasing no dang trade line. Okay. No. So that my take on it is, trade lines back in the day, like all the way up until 2017, trade lines were amazing. Let me back up real quick. So a trade line actually is any account that's reporting to your credit report. Okay. Anything on there is considered a trade line. But what we are looking at as trade lines, those are called secondary trade lines, meaning authorized user accounts.
Right.
So yes, back in the day, they were great. You could stick a few authorized user accounts on there and you could go apply and you would just get approved here and there. But guys, they got privy to it. Okay. They know what people were doing out here. So now they actually, like when it comes to Chase and Bank of America, it's a lot of them, they will actually take out any authorized user accounts that you have and just look at your profile as a whole. Like, what do you own? So yeah, so once they take off, so once they take off the history, that you borrowed, are you still, is your profile still strong? So yeah, a lot of that. And also, I'm gonna say this too, the money that you spent to get this trade line, first off, do you know whose account this is? Most likely you don't. So do you know, like, if they are with a bank that actually has to report your social, you just gave them private information.
Yes. PII, we call that personal identifying information.
Yes. And then here's another thing. If you are one of those that you went and purchased somebody's American Express, like, oh, I want to have their history and stuff like that. Guess what? With American Express, they don't backdate your history. It only starts from the time that it appeared on your account. Right. So now, even though that American Express that they gave that they were trying to sell you were saying, they were saying, oh, it's got 10 years of history. And we know if you have more than 5 years of history on your credit report, that's when they really give you high limits. So you're thinking, this is amazing. Okay, they're going to really put me in the game now. But with American
They hit.
Express and Discover, it starts the day you're at it. So you don't even get the back history.
But you could
So
have been
yeah, it's
sold
like,
on it, though. Somebody could have sold you that. Right.
yes,
Yes.
if you don't know.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, now
I
it's
think
not as
that's why a lot of
powerful.
people are there. I think it is one of those things where if you don't know, there are things that can kind of hurt you. I feel like law is definitely like that. Like people be like trying to run their own trademarks in the streets. And I was like, you really don't want to do that. And I'm going to tell you guys now, you actually do not want to go to LegalZoom. I can't tell you how many trademark and IP
Oh,
clients I've picked up
yes.
from LegalZoom mistakes, because LegalZoom don't care about
Ooh.
you. So, it's
Oh,
like
we
I've
got to
had
touch on
clients
that.
that don't.
We got to touch on that.
I
We got to
know
come
I've had
back to that
clients
one.
that they come to me and they're like, I don't understand why my trademark didn't get approved, and I find out they were in the wrong class. They weren't even, their filing wasn't even right. And so, it really does pay to, even if it's not me as a trademark attorney or someone else, it pays to go get the expert. Like, I would not be doing credit in these streets for business without talking to Kyra. I just wouldn't do that. You just don't want to do that because there's too many shady people, and there's too many people that just don't care enough, because they're here for
Yes.
they're here for the coins. They're here for the money. They're not here to make sure that we're building legacy businesses, right?
Facts. And I'm glad you said that, because when it comes to trademarks and stuff, I'm definitely going to send them your way, because I'm like, that's not my specialty. I'm good at credit. I'm good at business formation. I'm good at, business coaching. But when it comes to trademarks, copyrights, patents, none of that ain't my specialty.
I just can't tell you the amount of errors. And so I'm just like, you're just going to spend money twice. People often think, that they're trying to save money, but they end up creating more headaches and wasting money. So just get with the appropriate people. I really would encourage that. Don't cut costs, especially for your business. Don't try to cut corners, and especially if something is something you really don't know, because what you don't know can hurt you. That's what I'm saying. Like, it can hurt your credit if you actually do buy these faulty trade lines and you start doing stuff, or it could hurt your ability to actually get, loans and those things. So I don't know. I'm a lawyer, so I tend to be a little risk adverse. So, that's one of the things,
sense.
But you want to get the right person on the job.
Right. And I'm going to say this also, guys. If you are a person out here, I'm not going to knock your hustle. If you are the one that's like, hey, I'm selling my trade line, like, to my accounts or whatever, so I'm putting people on mine, I'm the person that you go to or whatever, I'm going to say be careful, because if they find out, especially American Express and Chase right now, they are big on this. If they realize that you are actually selling spots, and they see that you constantly changing who authorized users are on there, they will close that account. And I don't know about you, but if you have American Express, that's a charge account. So it doesn't have technically a limit. The more it goes by your spending habits. So if you have one of those major type of cards, like the American Express Platinum, the American Express Gold, y'all know how much I talk about it when it comes to the benefits, not having to be in the regular lounge and all this, all those benefits. You finna close get that card closed, and what'll happen is they may not even let you back in, because they see what you're doing out here. So please, if my thing is, when it comes to authorized users, that is usually you're using those slots for your loved ones, people you know. Right. So it's great to help your child start their credit journey, because with the FICO score model, it takes 6 months and 2 updates to actually get a score. Meaning that once you get a credit card, you have to have it 6 months. If you don't have anything else on there, you're just starting. So to help that child already have a credit score populate, it's great to add them as an authorized user. so they don't have to wait 6 more long months and 2 updates.
Right. That's yeah, because that's what it was intended for in most cases. You know, because there are people that are taking out all sorts of accounts and doing all sorts of financial savings. I know that for their children, or figuring out how to put their children in their businesses so that they can write off, you know, and help these kids get some money for some college and so forth. So there's a lot of ways that we can do things above board, legally, and, you know, to create that legacy. It just sometimes you know, honestly, I will say this. Most of the stuff that people are doing kind of under the table, it just requires probably a couple more steps to do it across the table, on the table, because, you know, we're seeing that now in so many industries where a lot of things that were kind of illegal, let's just say, they're now legal. And because a certain group of people of a different hue are in charge of that. I'm not going to get into it, you know, but you know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times we are very creative. Just get with someone who can make that creativity, you know, legal and work for you. Because sometimes there's even more ways that you can make money off of it. You know, there's a lot of ways to make money off of it, even if it's, especially for someone that knows legal code and business code and tax code. So yes. Yeah. And then I thought we were going to be talking about, you know, I should have put it on. I should see. I'm a newbie. I don't do this very often, but often if you have a good idea, we were supposed to be talking about at least sharing stuff about books a little bit. If you have a good idea, same way, you know, take that idea that you have and turn it into a book. I believe everybody, because I do book coaching and book development, and I do obviously book law, media law. So almost everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a story to tell. And if you're in business, then you can help somebody else in business, and you can turn those ideas into a book. And that book then works when you're not working. It's like passive income on 10, because not only is it your book that you can sell. We all know that we can sell it. And, you know, I talk to people all the time about where they want to sell, if they want to get a book deal, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people want a book deal, even though I will say it's not what it used to be. It's not what it's cracked up to be anymore. And people be thinking they get an advance. Advances are short and small, and you earn them back essentially out of your book sales. So what glitters isn't always gold. And publishers nowadays, they want you to be marketing that book hard. So back in the day, like 20 some years ago, before any of us were kind of in this space, there was like what you would call them deals that, you know, they were getting 6-figure deals, and they could sit back after they wrote the book and just keep collecting checks. But nowadays, that's not the case. So really, self-publishing gives you other tax benefits and so forth, because now you become another entrepreneur on top of already being a business owner. You create additional ways for you to make money. The other thing I wanted to say is that book becomes a calling card for when you're not in the room. So, you know, yes, we have websites working for us. Yes, we have referral networks working for us. We have our products sitting in people's houses. But that book that, you know, maybe it only sells 200 to 1,000 the first year. They say the average book sells 200 total. If you don't do marketing, you don't do it right. But if you do it right, you can sell way more than that. And that book, when it's sitting on Amazon, guess what it does? Authority. It makes you an authority. An author, short for authority. Right. And so that book then has legs, because people be like, oh, she is Miss Credit. She is Miss Real Estate. She is, and speaking of Miss Real Estate, she is Miss Real Estate. You know, hello, you know, they know it makes you an expert. It also helps you get speaking gigs. It also helps you get, you know, to create workshops. You can create programs. You can create online courses. You can do so much once you have that book. It's not just book sales. Book sales might be your smallest stream of income from that book, right? So I just want to, and then
I'm glad you said that, because
I didn't put author and authority together until today. Yes.
I'm glad you said that, because I have a book on Amazon. Right. You know, stop paying their mortgage and pay your own.
That's right.
And that did, like you said, it left to paid speaking engagements.
It opens doors. It really does open doors because people take you seriously. If there was someone that doesn't have a book versus someone that does have a book, who are they going to choose? They're going to choose who they think is more of
Yes.
the authority. And similar to what you were saying earlier about the phone number, who is taking their business more serious? The person that's got the book, the
Yes.
person that's got their domain, the person that's got the, you know, the phone number, that's got credit, that's got all the things. Phone's working hard today, y'all. But yes, it does. It really starts opening doors that, you know, would have taken you a lot longer to sometimes knock down. Sometimes the doors actually come to you. So it's like, oh yeah, so-and-so, they have your book. Oh, so-and-so knows that you're expert in this space. Oh, pass them my book. Guess what, you know, now they're going to be in your box asking you to come speak. You know, and then I
Yes.
help people turn those books into programs so you can create your signature speech, your TEDx talk, your next workshop, and
Are y'all hearing this? Are
create
y'all hearing
ebooks.
this?
You could take one whole chapter and create an ebook. So it's really, it seems hard. And my dad used to always say he thought everybody had to be a John Steinbeck. No, you don't have to be a John Steinbeck. You don't. You don't have to be Maya Angelou. You don't have to be Audre Lorde. You know, you don't even have to be the lady who wrote Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Right.
Terry McMillan, right? You can actually speak your book the way that we're talking about stuff tonight. We could turn this into an
Yes.
ebook right now. We could download the transcript, upload it, and create a book. So, you know, it's easier than you think. It just takes a commitment and a good idea, really.
Yes. And I'm glad that you touched on that because this is where credit comes into play. Guys, if y'all build up your business credit, now this is fun. Remember I said your rich best friend? So when you start putting your book out there, where can you get marketing from? What if you had to
Right.
max out that credit card? If it's on the business side, guys, you can max out that card and still get more credit
That's
because
right.
all business care about is you paying your bills on time. Now, if you're using your personal cash, guess what? Once you use that cash, it's done with, right?
No.
But if you're using the credit card, guess what? If you have the right type of card, that's 0% interest rate for the first year. So whatever you use, that's what you're paying back, as well as you're going to be getting more money on the back end besides getting the sales and stuff, because guess what? You swipe that card and it most likely has reward points, if not cash back rewards.
Yep.
So now you earn money on the back end. What? I'm
Yep.
talking about a win all the way. You less stress about doing the marketing because you
Yes.
know you have the funds that's sitting there. And once you get it back, you pay down that card and guess what? Rinse and repeat. Do
That's
the
right.
same thing.
So we have some questions here. So I have a book idea, but didn't think it was established enough to move forward with it. You know what? That's, well, I mean, I have an upcoming workshop where we're actually mapping out the book idea to the book outline, and I have a fun way to do it. So I have a fun way to take the different story ideas that you have and start distilling it down into an outline. I'm gonna tell you what, if you have a book coach like me or someone, I can tell you how to turn this hairbrush into a book, right? I can tell you about all the different ways you can use the hairbrush, where you can get the hairbrush from, why this hairbrush is better than another hairbrush, comparing it to the brushes of years before to years now. I mean, I have a million ideas, and I'm going to tell you this. It will be the thing that will help you get established to move forward. Don't wait until you're quote unquote established to do a book. Let the book help do that work for you. Right? That's what I was saying. Let the book help open doors for you. Real Estate Diva is saying, do you help with getting published? I do help with getting published. So, for example, one of my more recent clients, we had done everything from, I was like what I call the book doctor. So they had a manuscript, and most people put words on a page and they're like, I don't think this is a book. Oftentimes it's not. It needs to be cleaned up. It needs to be organized, and it needs to have a consistent voice and so forth. So you come to a book doctor, a book editor, or so forth, or a book coach, and they help you clean it up. But then after it's done, what do? Well, first of all, we don't wait until the end to start promoting it. We start promoting it in the beginning. That's another one.
Pre-sale.
These are keys. These are keys to when you start to think about how to market and publish. You start teasing it and doing all sorts of things. And I help all of my authors with the publishing part. And then those of them that are very, very serious about marketing, we don't just do the Amazon and the so forth. I've partnered with PR agencies to actually help get the word out, because a lot of people, there's ads, but what we call earned media or PR media, where we get people like Kyra, you get interviews, you get on podcasts. That's what gets people to really understand you and your expertise. That's long form content, where you're able to really share who you are as the author, why you created the book, how the book can help people, all of those kind of things. That's what really helps you, honestly, not only sell the book, but sell yourself. Because ultimately, unless you're just trying to become a childhood fiction author or something like that, a child book author or something, most of the people, my clients, are actually selling themselves. They're trying to make themselves into thought leaders, or they're trying to sell a service. They ultimately make a legacy business, right? And so the book is an entryway for you to come in. The book is just an opportunity to give you something to talk about, really, on all these different platforms, right? You're ultimately the speaker, the mouthpiece, the writer. And so we want to get you out front. So your book is like a calling card. It's a business, but it helps you get in those doors. I hope I'm answering the question.
I hope y'all are jotting this down. I hope y'all are following. If you are on Credit Kleanse page, make sure that you follow Ms. Brooke over here, because she is giving y'all some gems
and
to help y'all really get out here and level up.
Business and finance, because this is not all the stuff I'm always talking about. Books and creative, and even my folks, I think, were surprised. They were like, oh, she's talking about money and what? So I think this was a perfect conversation and a perfect collaboration, because I'm usually talking about books and creativity and marketing, publishing and being authentic to our voices. But what I want to encourage us, especially if you are a person of color, we need your stories. We need your stories. And so many people think they don't have a story. If you are sitting on here tonight, then I know that you are a person that has a story. And I know, as I say, I know that God put a story in you. And if you're concerned about business and you are doing business, that means you have someone else to teach and you have someone else to share. And, I learned that whatever I know and however I've been called to give or serve, I'm supposed to bring and lift somebody up. Well, guess what? A book helps someone that wants to help themselves, because anyone that's going to read or investigate or learn something, they're trying to better themselves. And we are the ticket to helping people do that. You are the ticket to helping someone do that. You know way more than you think you do. All you have to be is one step ahead. You don't have to be like 10 steps ahead. You just have to be one step ahead. You really do, because you can be someone's guide. And then guess what? That guide becomes an expert. And that author becomes an authority. That's kind of how it works. And you keep building and you keep bringing other people along. And that book helps bring others along.
I love it.
Yeah, we need more of our words out there. We need more of our stories out there. Hey, Kyra. Yeah, now everybody's jumping on. Everybody's jumping on now. Hi, Dina.
Yes.
Hey. Yes. But we were just talking about books and credit.
I wanted to get back to that LegalZoom real quick that you were speaking of. So when it comes to LegalZoom, but we definitely gonna get back into the books, because y'all need to get out here and tell y'all stories for real.
That's right.
And we are both like very.
Hey, Tyra.
We're powerhouses together. So imagine
this is a good one.
Your credit together and your marketing. You gonna get your book out there. She knows exactly what to do, where to go, as well as to get your trademark, get it patent, get your copyrights and everything.
That's right.
What you are set up to win. The problem is nobody wants to take that initial leap. So don't just get on here, get this information. Make sure y'all are out here implementing.
That's right.
But LegalZoom, everybody likes to market LegalZoom to tell you, oh, go get your business there. And like she was saying before, there's so many mistakes that they make. And one of those is also like when it comes to your address and stuff. They'll just tell you to put your generic address, like your home address. Guys, if you know business, everything business is public records. unless you have it hidden in a trust, okay?
That's
But
right.
otherwise, it is out to the open for everybody to see. You do not want to have your home address on there, and they don't care because they're after $1. So they just like, oh, what is the information you want to put on there? Gotcha. We'll put that. And they'll put it on that paper, but not knowing now you got to spend money to get that amended later.
That's right.
One, home address will get you denied money off top. Credit funding, yes, in the beginning stages, if you're going for Granger and you line all these net 30 accounts, cool. But when you actually going out there for the bad boy cards, which I like to consider is American Express, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, any of them, they are going to be like, what? Your home address is on here. Okay, so before we saw that it was your home address, you qualified for, maybe it was $60,000. Because you have that on there, now they're going to knock you down to $2,000. You just lost how like, and it's really that big of a difference. Y'all think I'm playing, I'm making up? No, I
Yeah.
have seen members, the home address, they're like getting approved for $2, $3, $5,000.
Right.
And they've been in
Right.
business 15 years. And it's
No.
somebody that just a startup company, and they got their business built structured right, they're getting approved for $50,000 and $60,000. So it
Yeah.
plays a major part in it, as well as home address. Like I said, is public records. Do you really want a stranger to know where you lay your head, where your kids lay their heads?
No, you don't.
I don't.
No. But she's exactly right, because I was just saying before, for the people that are jumping on now, you know, a lot of people will try to tell you to go and do these things yourself, to file the trademark, go to LegalZoom. And I'm just saying, then you end up paying twice, because I cannot tell you how many people I have helped now clean up or have to start over because they didn't have the right filing for places like LegalZoom. So definitely want to get the right people involved from the beginning, and that will prevent headaches too. That's the thing. It's like headaches. I don't know. You can't get your time back. You really
can't.
You can't.
You can't. And I've been there. I'm gonna say, so I didn't start with LegalZoom. I started, like, I did it myself. Everybody was out there, oh, you can do it yourself. But now when people say this, you got to ask them, did you do it? What was the results from you doing it yourself?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now I ask, I'm like,
Wow.
You know what? I can mow my own lawn, but am I doing it? No. I paid somebody to come and handle that. So.
And you want to think about too, what is your time worth? A lot of people, and I know in the beginning, especially when we're starting out in business, you know, we're trying to, as I said, I did it myself. We were trying to bootstrap things. We were trying to figure it out. You know, we were trying to cut costs. But if you know what you should be making and you know your area or zone of genius, then you're compromising it. Let's say you know I can make $200 an hour, whatever you can make.
Yes.
And you're now doing a $50 task that you could have sent off or got someone else to do it, or you've taken time away from your main task to do something now it's taking you 10 hours to do this. Somebody like me could have done it in an hour or two. So you just want to think about, this is when you start elevating your mindset and start thinking like a business owner instead of, you know, like a contract employee, or, you know, all of these things takes time. But I'm just telling you, your time is worth so much. People don't realize how much their time is worth, because we can't get that back. We can make more money, but we can't get our time back.
Facts.
You know, so anyway, there's a lot of options, but I think I love this conversation. This has been a really good conversation. I know people still have any questions out there, but yeah, I mean, if you have a book idea, if you have a business, you need a book.
Period.
Just facts, you know, and more people, I feel like, especially as a lot of Black women, they say, are entering into the ranks of entrepreneurship. You know, they're the biggest growing group of entrepreneurs. Well, guess what? We're creating legacy right there. So You would be surprised at the women that I have. I have one woman who's writing a book. Her mother was one of the biggest Black women franchise owners for McDonald's. I'm talking about a legacy maker. She's making history. Now people be like, but it's a McDonald's. Like, who cares? You know what? She's going to teach other people how to own a franchise of that magnitude. She's going to teach other people how to go to business. She's going to encourage other people that look like us to be in business. And she's going to document her mother's amazing legacy. Can you imagine starting a business as a Black woman, like in the 50s and 60s?
Right. Facts.
And this is Los Angeles and had one of the biggest franchise here. So,
yes.
You know, don't underestimate the value of what you are doing and the fact that you are doing it. Like, I wish that's the part I would instill in most people, because the book writing is one thing, but, you know, being a book coach and helping people, the biggest thing I help people overcome is what you call like imposter syndrome, or the fear of stepping out, the fear of having your voice, the fear of being like, oh, what if I say the wrong thing? Or what if I didn't cover, you know, this little piece of something? You know, knowing that we are good enough, our stories are good enough, our expertise is good enough, and we can start where we are. That's the best place I can put it. So, you know, wherever you are today, you know, you write that book for wherever you are today, and wherever you are in 5 years, you can write another one, you know, just like you would keep building your business, you keep building your own, you know, your own legacy of your words and your work.
But get it out there.
Thoughts on self-publishing? I am a fan of self-publishing, as I was saying before, because, you know, the publishing landscape has dramatically changed. So before, back in the day, and for those of you that heard me, you know, I'm sorry, I was going to try to repeat it real quick. But back in the day, people were hoping to get these big publishing deals, and you did. And usually those people were, for lack of a term, from like an Ivy Tower, from certain types of places, you know, had certain degrees, had, you know, literature and fine arts degrees, or they were a Harvard, you know, whatever professor that, you know, those are the people that got book deals. And then you had, as my dad calls it, the John Steinbecks. Well, that has kind of gone away. There has been an opening into traditional publishing for other people, but they're looking for often you to be remarkable in terms of like social media and marketing. So the thing that most people think you're going to get help with is the same thing that the publishing company is looking for you to already have. Wink, wink. They want you to already have, you know, 20 million followers. They want to see that you can galvanize support. Those are often the people that are getting traditional publishing deals. Then, even though, of course, there's always outliers, but that's the majority. They're looking now at your business platform, how they're going to sell a book for you. Because for the publishing company to bet on you, it's an investment, and they don't take smart bets, right? They don't. So if it's not a smart bet, they're not going to do it. The other part of it is that usually the book advance is just that, it's an advance. It's an advance on your sales. So a lot of people are like, oh, I got a $60,000 advance or $100,000 advance. That's advance is because they think you're going to make exactly. It's a lot like the music industry. I have music industry clients too. It's a lot like that. It's a draw. It's a draw. They think that you're going to make that money back. They said, you know what? She's good for $100,000. I'll give it to her up front because we're going to make it back and then some. And then, oh, by the way, you're expected to go out and market your book too. This is no sitting back on the couch and watching, you know, the publisher put it out.
Right.
Versus self-publishing, guess what you get? Not only do you get creative control and marketing control, you're going to have to do the marketing yourself anyway, but you also get to become, yet again, another business. And so those financial tax breaks that accrue when you're doing your own business, you get to usually keep more money in the pot. And over time, especially if you are using this business as an ancillary business of something you already have, right? Because again, we're talking about book publishing as a business, not to win an award. That's something totally different. Like if you want to be like Nobel Prize, like, you know, Toni Morrison, my favorite, that kind of stuff, that's a whole different book. We're talking about nonfiction books that build your platform, that make you money, that create lines of revenue, and or God has called you to write because there's a message that you have to get out there. There's a word that needs to be released. And so those things, you want to be able to write off those things. You want to be able to treat it like a business. And so self-publishing allows you to do that. It really does. And a lot of people, and I know this from people that don't look like me. I know so many successful businesses and coaches now, they're publishing their own books because they want to control the money. They want to control their money, and they want their book to look the way they want. They want the title to be what they want. And they actually think they might know their audience a little bit better than someone else who hasn't been working with them. So there's a lot of reasons.
Didn't E.T., he just came out with his book, and I think he did the self-publishing.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are self-publishing nowadays because it doesn't look like it. Back in the day, they looked cheesy, they looked horrendous.
Yes.
You know, but if you get a book coach, someone like me, a professional that helps you, that walks you all the way through, you're not allowed to put out a crappy book on my watch. You're just not allowed. So who's that? Someone knocking the door. Jackson, you get that? My son, someone's knocking at my door. I don't know who it is. But yeah, you're not allowed to put out a crappy book on my watch. So our books look professionally published. They look good.
Oh,
what is this?
Here for your sink.
Oh, okay. Come in. Sorry. I have a plumber coming. It's upstairs. I'm actually on a call on a live stream right now at this exact moment. So, but yeah, so you definitely want to make sure that you find someone that knows how it should look professionally, both inside and out, format it properly. Again, don't do it yourself. Don't do it yourself unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Yes. And here's my thing. I like that she keeps on saying, don't do it yourself. Guys, this is with anything. If y'all haven't noticed, like when it comes to business, guys, you cannot do every role in your business and think that you're going to make 7 figures like it's nothing. No, it doesn't work like that. We have a coach right now.
Yes.
That we have done so much in this, like 8 weeks. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
like
flown by.
It has flown by, but it's like what y'all seeing now, this is a result from having a coach. I'm a coach, she's a coach, and we have a coach. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's
and
right.
Our coach has a coach. So
Yep.
It's like, it's never ending. In order to grow, in order to scale, you cannot just do it yourself. You have to find somebody that is credible, that's really out here doing what they say they are doing.
That's right.
And that's the ease, that's the breeze. You know, when it comes to the finance part, even when it comes to getting your book out there and marketing, why are you straining yourself and running up your personal accounts or taking out money from your 401k? Like, I done been there, you know what I'm saying? And now that I look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't have to do any of that. I could have really built up my rich best friend, which is business credit, and I would have been set. And as long as you are using the credit and using, your money right, it's going to keep working for you. It's when you go and splurge on liabilities. But if you're doing things like marketing your book, that's
or
even
the book,
money
even
back.
the whole book development process, that is a write-off. That is a write-off. I work with companies. I help companies create books. They're writing all of my services off. The marketing, the development, all of that. So, you can pay yourself essentially twice. Your people are worried about in advance. I sit down with an accountant and myself, and we can show you how it can make more sense for you to be able to write it off and be able to promote it and market it the way that you want to do it. And, oh, by the way, I don't have to wait too long. Sorry, my battery's going down. It takes a long time to actually get a book out traditionally published. And most people, we don't have 2 years. We want it out 6 months, at most a year. So that's another thing to consider when you're thinking about traditional versus self-publishing. But more and more people are doing it the self-publishing way because it is the business way. It truly is the business way.
Ooh, guys, I hope y'all are taking this in today. And like I said, if you are just joining us, make sure you are following both of us.
Yes.
Like, we love to give y'all the gems. Everybody that I get connected with, that she gets connected with, guys, we really out here doing what we say we do. We're really out here really wanting to make sure that we help y'all win. We seen what this stuff is doing for us.
Mm-hmm.
And want to make sure that y'all are right there with us. We're not just on here. We could be doing our personal flex, like just going out here showing y'all our
Right.
lifestyle, woo, woo, woo. But instead, we're on here trying to make sure that y'all have all the resources, all the tools out here to get out here and truly start winning in real
Yep.
life.
Yep. And, you know, people are always talking about ways, you know, side hustles and different ways to make money. Well, people don't usually often think about a book as a side hustle, but a book is for sure a side hustle. You can create a book, put it on Amazon. A lot of people are even just doing digital books and selling them and making money. And they don't even have to, quote unquote, carry a product. And then all of those costs, tears, like, thank you. All this one of my clients, all of those products become your business. They become your IP. They become your, you know, your business that you can write it off. Because I don't know if you guys know, the tax code is made for businesses. It's not made for individuals. It's actually not made for employees. So the moment you can figure out how to write a book or start a business, what people traditionally think of as business, you're now one step ahead. So just want people just to start thinking about this whole book process a little bit differently, you know, unless you're trying to win a Hemingway award or something like that.
Right.
You want it to be a business. It really works for you.
All right. So Ms. Brooke, how can we stay in contact with you?
Well, definitely follow me. You know, make sure you follow me on my Instagram and Facebook. They're the same way. I have a brand new free writers group called the Soul Story Writers Group. It's on Facebook. And I'm always doing things. So for people that think they may have a book, you know, or are interested in doing a book, I offer book coaching, book doctoring, and editing for those of you that have already written something. And I offer a free book chat. So you don't even have to pay any money. You know, I talk with people for at least 20 to 30 minutes to let them tell me about their book ideas, and then we can brainstorm together about the best path. Because my goal is not really to sell you a thing. My goal is for you to actually get those words out in the way that make the most sense for you and your business. And then upcoming on December 5th, I'm having what's called my book mapping workshop. It's on sale. It's $100 off, which I never put stuff on sale. It's my pre-Black Friday sale. And my book I'm almost ready for book number 2. I know Tahir, we're almost done with her book. She's got a great book coming out for teen girls, all about confidence and being bold. Tahir is on here. She's an amazing coach for girls, for teen girls. And so we're doing a journal and a book for her. So, you know, there's so many ways that you can build your brand. And I think people think all the time, I need to have a 200-page book. No, you can create journals, you can create planners, you can create so many things that they're making money while you're asleep because they're selling, and they've now created a business for you. But I am offering back to that. I saw to here, so I was like, oh yeah. I am doing a book like mapping class, and basically it's a fun way to outline. People make outlining a book sound difficult. It's not. We can take, and I call it like mind mapping to an outline, and by the time you leave the workshop or the master class, your outline will be finished. That is your bones that you then apply the flesh of the words to map out your book. So that's on sale. Go to my link tree, go to my website, and if you have questions, just schedule a book chat. That's the best way to get started. And so how can people work with you, Kyra? Tell them how they can get their money to buy the book, the money to get the credit, to do the book.
Right. Y'all need all of that. Y'all need all of this. So definitely, if you are ready to take scale when it comes to your personal credit, leverage it, your business credit, or you just need coaching when it comes to your business, to find the different streams of income that you probably don't even know about that you could have, such as a book. That's making you money in the back end. Definitely get on my business credit community chat list. That is 254-274-2766. You want to message level up. Any type of trainings I have going on, when I'm going live, any type of credit tips, grants, anything that I'm doing, I definitely make sure that they know first before anybody. Just like my Black Friday sale that I have that's going to be coming up, is where you're going to be getting personal credit restoration done for you for the free $99. But we're going to be focused on building your business. And the reason being is because I wanted to make sure you're not stressing on that side. So I'm taking care of that for you. So you have 12 weeks with me to build your business credit. We are going to go down through there when it comes to building a team for as little as $2 an hour. Like, you can find employees for that. Like, we're going down through there in these 12 weeks, but I wanted to take that focus off of the financial strain. So that's going to be given to you for the free 99. If you want to be part of that, or you want to get a message so you can join, definitely make sure you text level up to 254-274-2766.
Yeah, you guys need to get on that, because everyone's always talking about, I can't afford this. I can't do this for my business. I don't have any money to launch my business. I don't have any money to grow and to scale. There's money out there. We just have to tap into it. And that is the key. That's the key.
All right, guys. Any questions for us before we get off of here? Any questions?
Oh, she put it in.
Oh, thank you.
And I need to be better. That's my coach told me. I need to be better about throwing my phone number up there. Y'all, see, that's what I'm telling you. We all are learning, and that's why we need to make sure we have people on our teams. That's right. Yep. Uh-oh. She's gone. So thank you. Thank you, you guys. I think she accidentally exited herself out, but it's been a pleasure. Please make sure you're following us both and staying tuned and getting on our email list and in our, let's see. Oh, she's coming back. Hold on. She's coming back. I said, I think she accidentally disconnected herself. Let's see if she's coming on. There she is. I bet she accidentally disconnected herself.
I did.
Uh-oh. There we go. Anyway, have a good night. Thanks you all for joining in, and definitely join into my Soul Story Writers group for free support, someplace to nourish your writing and your soul, and then make sure you're joining both of our lists. Talk to you soon.